Hey y'all, my name is Jen. I go by Dreaming in Multichrome on Instagram, and I'm here today at the request of many. I've actually filmed this video a few times. I was not centered. I did not love all the things that I said, so this is my second time filming it, and hopefully I will get it straight today. So a few people have asked me to provide them with a follow-up from the Pastel Roses situation, and because I haven't talked about it on this platform, I figured I would start at the beginning and just go through the events that happened and kind of talk about the Pastel Roses. So let's get started. I will probably continue to offer a few disclaimers throughout this video, so bear with me. I want to say that I am by no means a subject matter expert. I am not a microbiologist. I am not a specialist in mold, fungus, or cosmetic manufacturing. I have taken college level courses on microbiology, but something I've been a little hesitant to talk about, and one of the reasons why is because I by no means consider myself an expert, and I don't want to give information that is not true. I've been encouraged to make a follow-up from my testing results, which I will get to in a second. And because I don't really feel like Instagram is the place to do it, I am putting this video here. So bear with me while we start kind of at the beginning of this story. So while I am a big time supporter of indie single shadows, handmade shadows, one thing that had happened was I was purchasing from a UK-based brand by the name of the Pastel Roses. This was going back to 2020, 2021, and I sort all of my singles by brand. I keep them on a bookshelf in palettes that generally are designated for each brand. This is my Pastel Roses palette, and after today I will be throwing this away and we will talk about why. But I just thought I would show that I do store them in a cool, dry place in my bedroom. I happen to live on the East Coast, where we celebrate 4 seasons, and sometimes in the summer it is quite hot and humid. However, you can hear my air conditioner in the background, but I just thought I would give that disclaimer because I do live in a place that does become quite humid. I want to start by saying that mold, bacteria, fungus, all of these things live on surface areas. They are little colonies of organisms, and under the right conditions and with the right nutrients, these organisms proliferate. So if with the right food and in the right environment, mold will grow. Same with bacteria. It's true for everything. Also, I want to state that makeup does not last forever. So when I first started purchasing from the Pastel Roses, on the back of their single shadows, they had a 24-month expiration. I will insert a photo here. I noticed on my last purchase, the backs of the single shadows had a 12-month shelf life. I will insert that photo here. And on the most recent purchases and sales from the Pastel Roses, it has been shared with me that their shelf life had changed to 6 months, and I will insert that photo here. So I started to notice a smell when I would open my Pastel Roses shadow book that smelled a lot like rancid oil, or oil that was going off. That was the first thing I noticed, was a scent to the shadows, And then I started to examine them a little bit more closely, and I'm going to zoom in on a few right now to show you kind of what I'm talking about. Here is another shade. This is the shade Comet. And you'll notice there is a very distinct growth pattern around the outside of the perimeter of the pan of the shadows. I'm going to show one more. And this is the shade Dreamscape, and you'll see around the rim. So the one thing I really want to say is that some people have shared with me that the brand was notified of this issue and that they responded that it was a reaction from the pan. I have also seen and heard the hypothesis that this could potentially be rust. There are some community members in the Indie Insta community who shared that they live in a very cool, dry place where mold does not often grow, and that this they re-panned their shadows and it seemed to stop the reaction, and so their hypothesis was that this was rust. I think it's a valid hypothesis. However, rust is the corrosion of metal. That is the definition of what the rusting process is. And to me, when you clean this out, it isn't that the metal is corroding. It is that there is growth, organic matter growing in this shadow, which kind of still left me to believe that it was mold. I bought a home mold test kit, and on Instagram in a video I tested these shadows. I used the tape that they sent. I took a sample, and then I called the mold company that I had paid for the testing for. I paid for 2 samples to be tested. I talked to the mold specialist. He reviewed the video. He said that he certainly thought it looked like organic matter, and he would be happy for me to send the taped slides, as well as if I wanted to send a few pans, that he would test the shadows directly. He said that it definitely seemed to be happening in the perimeter and on the surface, and that the pattern was where the air hits the shadow first, and that it certainly looked like something was growing, and that at the very least these products were no longer good. I shared all of this on my Instagram, and I promised a follow-up. I sent the shadows. I did get the results, which I will include here. When I got the results back, it was a voicemail that said your results are in, they've been emailed to you, and attached is the PDF that I just showed on the screen. When I opened the results, I saw that there was a lot of information on mold, and it said none, and then in another row it said detected. So I went directly to the mold that said detected, and I read that that is a dangerous mycotoxic mold and that it can be harmful to one's health. I posted those results in my stories, and thankfully somebody sent me a message and said, "Jen, I think that says none detected." Immediately I took the story down because I wanted to talk to the gentleman and make sure that the information that I was sharing was accurate. It was important to me that I not get this wrong, because I did get it wrong. By the time I connected with the gentleman, it was just recently, and I confirmed that for common black dangerous household molds, that test did not grow. In the meantime, I reached out to other testing companies. Most of these companies are companies that test for food safety or for large cosmetic brands that are doing research and development and generally cost thousands of dollars. I could have sent the shadows for thousands of dollars for further testing to find out if there was a more specific mold type that had grown, or if this was in fact rust. I don't know the answer to that question because I have no desire to go that far into testing. Also, I think that it's very important to note that as soon as I made my video regarding the pastel roses, they responded to every comment. Every single comment from every single person who said, yes, I have shadows that have gone bad. They took every pressed shadow down off of their site. They did not sell them for cheaper. They removed them from the site. They immediately made a statement that they were going to slowly be reformulating. I will include that statement right here. And they reached out to me specifically and told me that they would be refunding me in full. I did not think that this was necessary. As I stated, some of the shadows that I had purchased were from 2020 and 2021, and we know that makeup does not last forever. I woke up the next day and they had refunded me in full. I don't think they needed to do that. I did not demand it. I think that it was incredibly kind, incredibly costly, and while I don't know, we can criticize all we want about past, should they have done it sooner? Everybody has a right to feel however they want about that. What I can say is that the minute I told them about the situation, they refunded me immediately. They also did reach out to me to ask me if I would give them some feedback on their new products, as I know that they have also sent them to other people in the Indie Insta community, and I told them they could. As of this date, they have not sent me anything. They have not asked me to take down my video. They have not sent me anything. They are not purchasing my silence. That has been alluded to me by somebody. It is absolutely not the case. I just felt like the brand was doing what I thought to be the right thing, and there wasn't much more I could ask. They're handling the problem. Whether or not consumers feel safe to continue to give them their money, or if they want to wait and find out, I think that those are all valid feelings, and I just can't tell anybody how to feel about that. Editing Jen here. It's actually the next day. I'm inserting this into the video that I filmed yesterday that will be going up today, and I wanted to be clear on a few things. I have filmed this now a few times, and there is a car alarm going off outside, which you can hear, so I'm going to try again. So the brand has reformulated, and they have added tocopherol to their ingredient list. Vegetable glycerin and jojoba oil have been removed from their ingredient list, and Based on some research that I've done, tocopherol is used commonly in cosmetics as an antimicrobial and a preservative system. I am in no way, shape, or form a subject matter expert on this, but I just thought it was important to add to the conversation, as well as making it clear that the test that I did on the common household molds came back with no growth. And again, there are over 100,000 different types, species of mold, and some of them are more harmful to our health than others. Do not use products that have gone bad and are several years old. I think the Pastel Roses did a really hard thing by pulling down every product from their site. I think they are trying to do right by their community, and I think that that means a lot. Do I think that they should have listened a little bit sooner? Probably. Do I think that there is a lot of information online that I will insert in the description box below regarding the dangers of handmade indie makeup, as well as information on the use of glycerin with jojoba oil in eyeshadow products and how that does create moldy conditions? Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Hindsight is always 20/20, and it's very easy to judge. I can tell you that I think that personally they have done the right thing, and I have yet to hear a story where they have flat out refused to refund or replace any of these products. I think it just kind of speaks to what they want from their community and who they are, and it didn't feel good to continue to kick them while they were down. I know that some people really wanted me to say something else right here. I just know that it was a hard choice, and I'm sure that all they're doing is the best that they can do for right now. It's all any of us can do. I think in conclusion, I'd like to add just a few things. Number one, I'm not a subject matter expert in any of these topics. There are so many people online who are so smart and definitely subject matter experts, and I would absolutely defer to them in all of these topics. Number two, I think it's important to know these things when you're buying indie handmade products, which I will continue to do and I will continue to love. But I will probably pay a little bit more attention to life expectancy of those products in relation to how much money I'm spending. And I think all consumers should figure out if that is important to them. I think it's important for brands to be transparent. I think it's important for them to listen to feedback. I think the Pastel Roses is doing that. I think that I would feel comfortable spending my money with them cautiously in the future. I think that if you are buying indie, or even if it's not indie, please pay attention to your expiration dates, and if makeup smells or looks off, don't put it on your face. It's not a good idea. If it's bad, it's bad. I really do think that the brand has done the best they can with this situation, and I think it's been a hard thing. It's been a hard thing for me to navigate as well. And I think this will be the last time that I will talk about the Pastel Roses situation. If anybody wants any information that I've gathered, I will put some links in the description, and my messages are open on Instagram. If you want to see anything that I have gathered, I will happily share it. And I hope that you guys take care and be safe as always.